What's going on, traders? So this week I actually have, narrowed down my watch list. All right. So I'm focusing on 4 pairs this week and starting with GBP JPY. All right. So we can see GJ, we're at this top, this level of supply. The price had a nice sell off here in the past, came back up to this level, rejected strongly again. All right. Rejected from structure around 160 and bounced right back up to that same level. All right. So going into this week, I'm looking for the continuation down. Now, we got this initial sell-off here at this top of supply. Price rejected, pulled back slightly, and gave us that impulsive wave. All right. So that's also what I like to call a 3-wave. All right. We had a rejection, slight pullback, 3-wave extension down. All right. Was able to catch some of this move. All right. Took profit. And now going into this week, I'm anticipating price. All right. On this pullback, I say look for that continued wave down, really going down towards 164. All right, that's what we can you can look for price to do that. All right, so something like this, really ideally, looking at this daily rejection, I am anticipating price to stay below this daily candle, this bearish daily candle here. All right, so we could possibly get the continuation early. We just have to see how price react up here on this pullback. All right. Because from a structure or price action based perspective, I will look for price to definitely stay below this rejection here, which will be considered my lower high within this level of structure. All right. So corrective move, continuation. Now, once we get around 164, all right, 164 would be the next target I would look for. But if we look to the past or look to the left, 164 here in the past, all right, I showed this on numerous times, but just so you can see it. This was the top that it made during Brexit, when Brexit had this big sell-off. All right, so that's a major level of resistance or supply in the past. So if price comes down to 164 and not just reach it, but actually break through it, all right, if price was to come down here to 164 and break through 164, all right, then I will anticipate even bigger move down and on a pullback and maybe retest, continue to look to sell that wave. All right, so that's GJ. Bearish bias for the week. EJ, similar to GJ. All right, we're at a level of supply. If I look here on the weekly, looking to the left, always look left to go right. In the past, this was a major level of supply. All right. So if we look at how price is reacting now at this level of structure, if we go down to the daily, this is basically a double top right here, double top formation. And look at this previous daily candle close. If you know anything about candlesticks, if you're in VIP, you've seen my candlestick analysis training, you can see that this is a evening star reversal on the daily. All right, so seeing that on the daily gives it even more weight. And the fact that this is at a level of supply, all right, it holds even more weight. All right. So now what I'm looking for, I'm definitely expecting price to stay below this daily candle. All right. I'm expecting price to stay below here. So if I come down to the smaller time frame, we can see that, okay, you see the double top right here as well, because it's interesting on a daily, you got a double top here and here. But if we look at the 4-hour, this can also be considered a double top right here. All right. But at the same time, it's equaling out at this same level of supply in the past. So on a smaller time frame, on a 4-hour, we got the double top. Usually a double top breakdown on a smaller time frame, ideally after you see the break price, once price break the neckline of structure, with this right here will be considered our neckline. So price broke our neckline and you'll like to see some type of retest of the neckline. So price is pulling back into the areas that I would look for that potential continuation down. All right, I can also take my fib from this high of the right shoulder down to this low. All right, so anywhere between here, roughly around here, 50%, 61.8, so anywhere in here around this neckline retest, I would look for a potential continuation down. All right, and on this continuation down, I'm really based off of the 4-hour. You just look left to go right. Price could come right back down. I would look for around 140 to be hit again, around 140. All right. Because if we look at the daily, we look at where price found support in the past, it found support at this previous level of resistance. All right. So in order for price to go even further down, we would need to see a break at this level, but not just a break below. We would need to see a confirmed break below, because it broke below here, but you see it printed this big wick. All right. Pin bar rejection. and then it found support. So seeing this type of close is not, that don't give me confident that it's going to continue to drop. Now, if we get a confirmed bearish close below, then that could be a sign that we go even lower. But for the short term, I would say look for anywhere between 140, anywhere between 141, all right, to 140 will be my next targets on the short. All right, so that's EJ. GA. All right, so if we look at GA, look at GA on a weekly real quick, we can see, okay, price came down here, it found support here, it found demand, bounced up. All right, if we look to the left, it found support at the same, or demand at the same level of demand that it had in the past. All right. So this potentially could be setting up for a big wave up. If we look at the weekly and on the monthly, potentially could be setting up for that. But on the intraday, I'm looking at what could we catch on the intraday. So we look at here on the daily, we see prices rejected from this same level of resistance. All right, the same level of resistance that it had a sell-off in the past. And if we look to the left, it's bigger than that because this is a retest of previous level of demand. Previous support structure, term resistance. All right, so the fact that we're rejecting that, we see certain price action indications, we look to trade in line with structure. All right, so now here on the daily, we see the daily, we got this bearish engulfing candle. All right, so if I go down to, like, let's say the 4 hour, boom, we got the breakdown. We got a nice, looking to the left, the price had bearish engulfing here, and then it had a nice sell-off. Right here, price gave us a nice bearish close, breaking down right there. All right, so for me, I'm looking for continued sales on a pullback. I caught this drop to end the week, but I just went on and took profit, and I'm just going to be looking for a re-entry on the pullback. All right, and you could take our trend line here. You see, price also broke our trend line. All right, let's throw on the moving averages. Now on the 2 hour, we can see the moving averages crossing over. All right, so that's more bearish indication. So now what I would look for this pullback. I would like to see price pull back anywhere between 1.773 to 1.774-ish or 5, somewhere in here. I would look for that continued wave down. All right, based off the 4 hour, I would like to see price stay below this impulsive close on the 4 hour. All right, so some type of pullback, maybe another 4 hour candle, another 4 hour candle or two pullback, and then look to re-enter around there, catch that continuation down. All right, so based off of price action, I'll expect for price could come back down, at least back down in here to anywhere between 1.76 to 1.753. All right, possibly even 1.75, but just always look to the left to identify where you can take profit. So really down in these levels, I would say start to look to take profit. All right, now if price was to come down and let's say break below here, all right, then it's likely to go even further down to this level of demand down here. All right, down here. So let's see how price develop. But overall, I'm going into the week. I like the sales. And similar for Euro AUD. So Euro AUD, we can look at this on the weekly. Price is retesting a previous level of demand. Looking to the left, previous level of structure where price found support from. All right. And in the past, price broke below that, retested it as resistance, and continued away. All right, it came back up here again, retested as resistance, rejected. All right, so now we right back to this level again. So I'm looking for a price to, when you get to around these levels, it's a break or bounce type scenario, because the price comes to this level of structure. And if it was to break above here, all right, if it was to break above here firmly, then that could be a sign that we're going to go higher. You look for the pullback or the retest possibly and continue up. But whenever you have a break above a structure like this, you want to make sure that they hold and it's not just a false break. Because if let's say it broke above and then sharply closed back below, then that's a sign that that was a false breakout, and we could look to continue to sell that. But look at this on a daily. Look at the past. This basically formed like an evening star type projection in the past, sold off. All right, came here again, sold off. All right, now price is forming similar price action. All right, showing signs of potential rejection. Now, if we look at this on a 4 hour, price had a breakaway, slight pullback, and then break. So this could be considered as like a breaker structure, because you see it broke that level of structure right there, closing below this level of resistance. All right, so if we look at it from that perspective, and I'll take my trend line from here, All right, you can see price is starting to break down. So we can even go on a 1 hour. All right, you can see the break of structure here. Price broke structure here, breaking this higher low. All right. So really on this pullback, this could be setting up for a continued wave down. So on this, you know, if you want to wait for even stronger confirmation, you could just let this pull back. And if it pulls back and it continues down like that, then that's even more confirmation that, yeah, you're definitely going to see a bigger move down. So then you continue to continue to sell the pullback opportunities, to retest, and continue to ride that wave down. But just judging based off of how this price action is looking now, I do like this pullback to set up for a continued wave now. All right, and you always look to the left to go right to identify where you can possibly take profit. Judging based off of this level, the price made, you know, it could come all the way back down here, you know, around 1.48 or so, or around this structure. All right, we can see price come back down here. All right, so that'll be a nice move. So what we gotta do is just be patient, let price come to us. You know, trading in line with structure, price action, and market structure is king. It'll show you and tell you everything you need to know. All you gotta do is just let the market come to you, let the market develop, and once you see price form and it shows its hand, you just trade what you see. All right. So I hope that helps. And if you're in VIP, if you're new here, be sure to, you know, like, subscribe. Also, join. You could join the free Telegram. It's in the bio. But if you're looking for, you know, actual, you know, signals and trade ideas with the exact targets, you know, take profit and everything given, you can join the VIP, and you could tap in with us. Also, that promotion is still running. If you create an account with FX Sway, create a broker account with FX Sway, and you fund it with at least 500, you'll get a month free of signals and live sessions with us in VIP. So, you know, you could take advantage of that as well. All right. See y'all in the next one.